Hey y'all! So, right after my solo sail from San Diego to Oahu in Hawaii, I went straight to this museum. It's called the Bishop Museum and it has a lot of cultural artifacts. And I was in one of the rooms and I had this crazy visceral reaction to a stone statue of an ancient shark god. I mean, it was such a powerful energy. I couldn't stop looking at him. But at the same time, like, I wanted to get closer, but I had to keep stepping back. It was like his energy was so potent. I couldn't get too close to it. It was insane. I mean, I was crying and backing up, but couldn't break my gaze with it. It was just all consuming, the power of this thing. So I went to the front desk. I thought maybe I'm going crazy. I said, "Excuse me, I'm having a strong reaction to one of the statues here." And they said, "Oh yeah, is it the shark god statue?" And I said, "Yes." And they said, "You're not the only person." And then they told me the story that they came to own the statue because the shark god kept coming to a fisherman in the fisherman's dreams and saying, "I am buried deep in the earth, come find me, this is my location." And the shark god haunted the fisherman's dreams until the fisherman dug him up. And that's how the museum came to own it. And then the museum went to rebuild like 10 years later. They couldn't get the shark god statue to budge. They tried everything. They even tried using a bulldozer. It wouldn't move. It was like as soon as the shark god came above earth again, like he took down roots and wasn't going back under. Maybe he was like afraid to get buried. So they ended up having to build the new museum around that statue. Anyway, I wrote a short story about it. So I've completely made the ending up. That this is not anywhere near the true story, but it was just something creative and fun to do. And so I hope you enjoy. This is an animation of that story.
The ultimate sacrifice. The fisherman's eyeballs started to sink. He slapped his face, then sucked on some fire water. He hadn't slept in 3 days, was too afraid to. What would God do? His bamboo house was soaking in the silver blue of the full moon, and an army of frogs flooded the floor. Croaking, clicking, grunting, jumping, rattling his bones right down to their flamingo. Glass frogs, tree frogs, golden frogs, true frogs, red-eyed frogs, more frogs. The fisherman's wife, Cookie, walked into the room with her elephant legs, smashing 3 frogs flat along the way. She stood there, burped, then said, "Honey, your face looks like a melting candle. You need to come to bed before these goddamn frogs hop off with your head." They were in the kitchen, pots and pans and plates hanging all around, the sour of stale fish fogging the air. The fisherman was naked and hunched over like a dying leaf, his body thin and pruned with wrinkles. On the table next to him there was an ashtray, overflowing, and a Bible, page open. Cookie was wearing nothing but a sarong, and her black hair stuck straight up like a sea urchin. She was sun-drowned and round like a coconut, boobs blending with stomach, blending with butt. Next to her, the fisherman looked like some aquatic bug, and it was bewildering that they could perform any act of intimacy without her sinkhole devouring him whole. The fisherman said, "Can't close my eyes without that old shark god spooking me, him swimming at me in the dark water of my dreams, staring at me with his triangle teeth." Cookie burped again, and then said, "What does the shark god want from a fisher fool like you?" For 3 nights while Cookie lay there snoring, the shark god had eclipsed the fisherman's dreams. On the first night the god came, more real than rock, more wild than wind, punk-faced and pleading between a fading breath.
I am the shark god, god, help me. I'm buried deep in the damp earth, next to the mushrooms, rooms. Take me out of this cold place.
The fisherman awoke, grabbed his Bible and prayed. The second night, the shark god came and said,
Forget your new era God, that gives you nothing but a fear of hell. I can give you a sea filled with fish. Find me, free me, feed me, love me, flower me, worship me.
The fisherman woke and prayed some more. On the third night, the shark god said,
My grave is under the crooked palm tree. Come now. If not, may your nets be empty and your house filled with frogs.
A frog jumped onto the fisherman's head. He peeled it off and said, He wants me to dig 'em up and feed 'em flowers. Says the ocean will be fishless if I don't. Cookie said, Well then start digging, ding dong. The fisherman pointed to the open Bible and said, Thou shalt have no other god before me. Cookie said, Oh, come on, that Bible is a fat fairy tale, and the God in it will suck your spirit dry. The fisherman looked at the frogs and his empty nets and his fat wife, and the frogs and the nets and his wife, and the frogs and the nets and his wife. He had visions of fish flopping into his nets like moths flopping towards the light. He stood up, got his shovel, walked to the crooked palm tree, and dug, and dirt flew, and his hands blistered, bled, ached, and his naked body sweat, and he cursed his dreams, and the sun rose, and he dug some more, and cursed, and bled, and dug. And when his shovel hit the stone face of the shark god, an electric shock crashed into the fisherman's body. Stars fell, flowers burst, diamonds glittered, organisms bowed, air froze, crabs danced, and love rose. The fisherman was ecstatic as he stood the statue of the shark god up. It was as tall as a woman, as old as the sky, and it had a crude face that seemed to have been carved by a child, crooked circles for eyes, and a round mouth that gaped open like a ghost. It emanated a potent energy that made the fisherman delirious, like an unexpected volcanic explosion or a fever or a spell. The fisherman kissed the statue all over its stone face, from head to cheek to eye to mouth. The shark god began salivating, circling, worming for life, a predator unleashed and staring at the ultimate sacrifice. The fisherman's body started convulsing. His knees gave way. He dropped to the earth and twisted this way and that, jolting like a boat in a strong sea. It was a thrashing, writhing, contorting cyclone of mud, sweat, skin as the spirit of the shark god crawled out of the statue and into the fisherman's ear and ate the fisherman's soul. When the shark god had the fisherman's skin all to himself, he tapped his new toes, shook his new hips, wiggled his new fingers, and said,
Damn, it feels good to be back among the living.